What is up, everybody? It is Og here, back with another video, and today we are looking at the 1 to 60 speed leveling challenge day 3 recap. It was an absolutely insane day for a variety of reasons, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But if you want to listen to exactly what our slash blade was at the end of the day, and if you want to see how much we have raised for the puppers and the kittens, then definitely stay tuned to the end of the video so that you guys can see those numbers. So we started off the day at level 43, and we were just sitting in Mara, and we knew that we were going to be in Mara for the majority of the day, but our idea that we had at the beginning of the day was to go over to BRD somewhere in the late 40s, depending when we started to lose a little bit of XP. What we found, though, was that we were actually losing XP very quickly because of the average group level. So the way that experience works is that it takes your average group level, and I'm going to do a more in-depth video on this in a little bit, in a couple weeks or something, is it takes your average group level, and then it bases the XP on that, but it also penalizes you if the mobs are red, or obviously you don't get any XP if the mobs are gray. So what you want to do is you want to have the mobs in the sweet spot of the orange to yellow level range compared to your average group level. But as some of our people were getting higher, we also have the level 60, and so we were finding that our average group level was actually getting over level 50, even when we were in just like 47, 48 range. And that was actually obliterating our XP. I'm talking going from 25k XP per run down to 15k XP per run, because a lot of those mobs at that point are very green, if not almost gray, and so we're not getting much XP at all. And so what we decided to do, we were like, you know what, we're going to head over to BRD and test that out, and so I'll show you guys what happened with that in a little bit. But Mara was going pretty smoothly, except for the very start. We actually wiped the very first 2 pools of the dungeon, and I decided that, you know, I wanted to include one of our resets to kind of show you guys live how we handled a reset and how we were able to live. But what happened in the first 2 pools of the dungeon is that we went ahead and we pulled the Hydras, and we were trying that attempt. And I since have figured out a way to definitely make that safer, so I'm going to make that into another video, but it definitely caused some issues at the beginning of the run, because Hydras can hit you even if you're on the totem. They can basically use Thrash on you and just obliterate you. Actually, you got 1 shot at one point in the day from 3,000 life. So it is crazy what they can do. So you definitely need to watch out for the Hydras. But I will be making a video on the improved way for me personally to do that one pool. Shout out to Distortion for his original video that I saw doing the additional Hydra pools. And so we wiped the first 2 times in the Hydras. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing the Hydras anymore. I don't want to risk it. I just want to get the maximum XP. And so we're just doing the regular pools for a while until the regular pools got all the way down to, 14 to 15k XP per run, which isn't bad, but I knew it was not sustainable at that point. And so at that point, I was like, all right, we need to do something different. So we ended up going over to BRD. Real quick, though, there was one crazy thing that happened in the Mara, and it is right here. And so watch very closely to what pops up on the screen. Right there, boys. Off of a treant. Edge Master Handguards. It was absolutely incredible. I started freaking out, as you can see in my reaction. I'm still so hyped about it. They started to roll against me, but I still won anyways. They were going to give it to me regardless if I won. But it was one of the most hype-filled experience. The chat went crazy after that. And so somebody had predicted at the very beginning that we were going to get Edgemaster's Handguard during the challenge. I was hoping that we would, but it has taken me probably, I don't know, a lot of runs, probably about 500 to 600 runs to get Edgemaster's Handguards, and they finally dropped. It is absolutely incredible. So extremely hyped about that, and that is something I'm going to keep in my bags for the rest of the challenge. Definitely make sure to tune into the Twitch if you guys want to see this live. We still have a long way to go. But as I said, we then transitioned over to BRD. And so once we got over to BRD, we noticed that we were having some issues. We were thinking, well, we're level 48 and Frosty is 47. So if he can at least get the slow on the mobs, we're going to be okay. Actually, he's 46 looking at the clip. And we were thinking, okay, at least if he could get the slow on the mobs. The issue is that the mobs are 51 and 52. And so as soon as Frosty came into the room, they just immediately aggroed onto him and immediately were headhunting him to go try to take him out. And it was just really bad. And he also was just getting resisted constantly. And so we realized, you know what? We can't actually do this at this level. And so we pulled 1 pool of BRD successfully. And it was about 7k XP. It was just the first part. And we didn't do the rest of the pools. Just because there wasn't going to be enough experience. And it was basically going to have to be me soloing it. And I was sitting there thinking in my head, okay, well, even if we try to go for that, that is really going to hurt the XP per hour. So it's not even worth it because I might be dying occasionally. And if I die, that's a huge run back. And so we said, you know what? We're just going to skip over BRD. We're going to go back tomorrow. And that is when we went over tomorrow. One thing did happen, though. One of our party members, Bougie, had to go for a obligation. And so we ended up having to bring in somebody else, which ended up actually being very beneficial. So as I said before, our average group level was getting too high. And so Bougie, once he left, we ended up getting a level 30 to take down our average group level. And we actually took our average group level from 51.4 all the way down to 51.2 all the way down to 48.4. And it made an incredible difference. And as you can see here with the mobs in the back, that is when Frosty ran in and the mobs all immediately aggroed onto him, even though he was just trying to get in a position to do the blizzard. But once we took down the level, we were starting to get a ton of experience again in Mara. We were getting anywhere between 19 and 23k experience, and so we were back under 2 hours per level, and we were like, all right, you know what, we could just do that. And we realized that was pretty good, and so we continued grinding through the night all the way until we almost hit 51. But at 51, what ended up happening is that my boots broke. And so once my boots broke, I was kind of like, all right, you know what? I have no movement speed enchant. I would have to go back to town. Let's call it a night there. We had been streaming for 17 hours at that point. And so by then, we were like, all right, you know what? We're just going to call it quits there. We're going to pick it back up tomorrow and hit it hard. And so that is exactly what we did. We went from level 43 to 50, almost 51. And as soon as I hop on, I'll be hitting level 51 as well in the stream and get ready to go. I think that we're probably going to try to stick with Mara for a little bit more, maybe pick up a level 30. And then after that, we're probably going to head over to BRD potentially, or we might do some quests or something like that. And it's still up in the air, to be honest, because the BRD is real risky. If you die, you're going to end up having to run all the way back to the start. And it's kind of like, crap, what are we going to be able to do if we have to run all the way back to the start of the instance, rezone in? How much time are we going to be losing? It's not as bad as the bar run back, but it is still definitely a very bad run back to have to deal with. And we don't want to be trying to deal with that the entire time. So hopefully we'll have a strategy figured out. Definitely tune in to day 4 and day 5. To day 4 may be a very, very long stream. As I said, yesterday was 17 hours. We might push day 4 all the way to potentially even 24 hours because optimally, I'd like to get to at least 57 so that we're comfortable that on Sunday we can hit 60 on the 5th day of the challenge with well under 3 days played. As far as the 3 days played go, we are currently sitting at just over 1.5 days played. We actually dinged 50, ironically, at exactly 1 day, 12 hours, 0 minutes, and 12 seconds. It was almost perfectly 1.5 days to level 50, which I think is insane, especially because, we're not trying to optimize our group comp the entire time until about now. But if we were optimizing our group comp to try to get maximum experience, it would be even upwards of potentially like 20% faster. And we're also running with 5 people, which is less experience than 4 people. So it could potentially have been even faster. But as we see, an ending time of 1 day, 13 hours, and 48 minutes. And that is where we ended day 4. So now the important thing, how much money have we raised so far for the puppers? I am absolutely amazed at the amount of support that we have. Thank you so much. People have been also confirming that if we reach, a certain speed with the levels, they're also going to donate more. And that just gives me all the more motivation to try to go as fast as possible. But we have raised an amazing $430 on the GoFundMe page and an amazing $425 in the game for the puppers and the kittens. Basically, if you guys haven't heard yet, we're donating all the donations from the stream event to the ASPCA. There are 2 ways you can donate, one through GoFundMe, one through just donating in the stream. And then what I'll do at the end is I'll donate a lump sum total of all the donations that came through the stream. But we're already at $855 raised, and it is only day 3. I am absolutely amazed. Thank you, everyone. So much support. I think this is a wonderful organization. I'm extremely humbled and gracious to be able to support them as well as through my stream. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. All right, everyone, that wraps up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe and leave a like and a comment below to let me know so. And if you guys have any other ideas for any other videos, please let me know in the comments below. Also, check out the description for the Twitch, where I do all this live, and also for my Twitter and Discord, where you guys can be notified of any future updates and when I'm going to go live on stream. So I'll see you guys in the next video.